Across the eastern Netherlands, there are places named after something very few people still believe in, but the names remain on maps, in forests, in lakes and in empty fields. And they all point back to the same figures, the Witte Wieven. They call them the Witte Wieven, the white woman. In Old Dutch, the word weave simply meant woman, as an ordinary term long before it became tied to the folklore. The first part of the name Wit is a little bit more complex. It can mean white, referring to mist or the pale figure seen in the fog. But in older interpretations, it may also relate to something like clarity, wisdom or knowing. Something closer to perception and appearance. But no one agrees completely, and that uncertainty sits at the center of this tale. Because the white weaven never stay fixed, they change depending on place, story and time. The Witte Wieven are one of the most persistent figures in Dutch folklore traditions. Their stories are mainly found in the eastern provinces of Drenthe, Overijssel and Gelderland, with related traditions across western Germany and parts of Belgium. The earliest written references appear in the late Middle Ages, roughly between the 13th and 16th century, but historians agree that the stories are much older than that. They come from oral tradition, passed through generations long before they were ever written down, and like most folklore tales, they shift depending on who tells the story. Most stories place them outside of the village, not in towns, not in cities, but at the edges of the landscapes. Heathlands, forests, wells and ancient burial mounds, or as we like to call them, hunnebedden or earthen graves. Many of these sites were already ancient in the Middle Ages, their origins forgotten, which is often where the folklore begins, in the absence of an explanation. So what were they believed to do? In some stories, the Witte Wieven guard a sacred or hidden place. Especially wells are very common in the stories. Those who approach with respect might receive guidance or healing, but disrespect could bring confusion. Travelers entering the territory were said to lose their way in the mists, walking in circles, returning to the same point over and over again. Other stories describe them appearing in groups, spinning or weaving in the air above the landscape. Quiet, almost ritualistic. Sometimes remembered as wise women or healers, sometimes as witches, sometimes as figures who once lived on the margin of village life and were later mythologized after their passing. As Christianity spread through the lowlands, these stories changed. Older figures were rewritten, wise women slowly became witches, sacred places became a dangerous ground, and local beliefs were reshaped rather than erased to fit the Christian worldview. While the story has definitely changed over the years, the stories have never fully disappeared. The Witte Wieven remain in place names like the Witte Wievenkuil in Gelderland, in walking routes through forests and heathlands. There are local festivals, you can find them in museums, so they're still a part of the Dutch culture. Quite common in older children fairy tales, although they slowly take different shapes there as well. What remains is not the belief in the literal figures, but the way the landscape still carries their name, and the way the Dutch have interacted with marsh and waters for centuries.